Maybe, but I enjoyed your session with Partha as well. You always look at the sporting side of things, but to have so much knowledge, so much awareness of what is happening and what you need to bring to the client was really helpful. Although I did understand only 10% of what he said, but I could really understand that there was an effort to make this a success. What I understood is that the consumers mean a lot, and most importantly, what I've seen in my life and what I understand is that change is important.
Well, which leads nicely. So obviously we are building our presence in Calcutta, and you've heard a lot about how we need to transform and do things differently. So we really wanted to have a bit of a chat with you to understand what that might also mean, give us some advice, but really also learn from you. I mean, you've had an incredible career. I will be very honest, I'm not the biggest cricket knowledge fan, so excuse me if I pronounce something wrong.
But that's not surprising, being from England, that you're not the biggest cricket fan, because you're the biggest football fan.
Maybe. For those of you that don't, I'm from near Liverpool, so obviously it's the
football's red. In the blood, the red is in the blood.
Yes, exactly. But really this was about learning from you and your success that you've had. So yeah, let's just have a chat really.
Firstly, I was so happy to learn that we're going to employ 150 new employees in Calcutta, which is so good to hear. You give opportunities to young people, to experienced people, to make careers and make their futures and take this brand forward. And it's so satisfying to see that you've just been a year-old company, tech company, and you're making rapid progresses forward, so which is good to hear.
Yeah, we're very excited, as you can tell, to make that happen. And so a big theme of this morning was about transformation and how we need to change the way we do things because of the technology, but also the way the world is going. And I guess firstly I wanted to ask you, during your tenure, you are known for transforming Indian cricket. Just how did you go about that?
For me, I firmly believed as a player that if you kept playing the same way, you kept getting the same results. And in life, in sport, it's important that you keep moving forward. And it's the same thing in business, as you kept saying when you made the presentation, that how you keep inventing new things and how you bring new things to the client. I love the piece where you showed the old, the emerging, and also the Buckingham Palace, which is the old mixed in emergence. So I thought that was a great comparison, and I think in sport it was the same. I started as a very young player, just like everyone did. There are many in this room who are starting off their careers and who will be keen to joining Innoverve as a part of the 150 who will take this brand forward. One day I started my career that way when I first got picked into the team and played for about 3 or 4 years as a player, and then went on to become a captain. And when I first became captain in the year 2000, for me it was about making a difference. It was about making a difference, making a transformation, and taking things forward. We are a great cricketing country. We are a great cricketing country, a bit like England in football, probably at par with England in football. The madness of this sport in this country is beyond imagination, and I'm sure many of you have seen the pictures on the Marine Drive when India won the World Cup last month. That was just a sea of people, and that's what this country brings for the sport. Although we do win more World Cups than England does in football. In cricket we do, but unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that, but I think as a captain, for me it was going away from India and winning. We were a great side at home. We had some great spinners during that generation who would, on any pitches, win you cricket matches in India, and I have been fortunate enough to captain some of them. And I realized as a captain that when you played in Bombay, when you played in Delhi, when you played in Calcutta, as a captain, you just had to go and stand at a particular position and let your spinners do the job. test matches would finish in 3 days, and I'm saying test matches because I was born and I played in an era where test matches were important. And as Joe said, as Partha said, that things keep changing. You move on to new things, and T20 is the format probably in the modern day generation. But when I grew up playing cricket, it was Test cricket, and I remember playing that India versus Australia Test match. And some of you may have visited the Eden Gardens that day. There were 120,000 people on day 5 of a Test match at Eden Gardens. So I've played in that generation. So I've actually been a part and seen the transformation of Indian cricket. So the biggest change which I wanted to bring as captain was the way we played away from home. We would go to England, we would go to Australia, we would go to South Africa, and we had so much talent in this country, and we still have. People would say that there would be 100 from Tendulkar, 100 from Dravid, 100 from Ganguly, but ultimately India will not win. And I think that was the biggest transformation which happened during that generation, that we transformed as a team. We made a difference to winning and losing, made a difference to being successful and not being successful, which is so pertinent for Innoverve. You make a difference to the client's business model. You handhold them to find something new, find something better, and as Partha was saying on the stage, that to reduce costs in the long way for business houses, which is the sole reason of business. It's not just about how much more you earn, but it's also about how much less you spend. And I think that's very important. So for me, the transformation in sport was very important. It was important to be respected all around the world. Sports is a bit different from business, and with the corporate world involved in sports a lot these days with the IPL, sometimes they have this problem of relating sports to numbers. You invest, the return comes, and that's how you work. In sports, sometimes that doesn't happen. You invest, you put your time, effort in new talent, and still it doesn't work at times. So there is a bit of difference in sport and in business, but the common thing in both is that you have to keep, innovating. You have to keep becoming better. You have to invest in new. You have to bring in new talent. The best sporting teams have the balance of experience and youth, because youth is very, very important. And I think that was very important in my journey to be successful. A lot of young players came in that era. So it's not just about sticking to the tried and tested. It's about taking the risk and trying to find what could be the better for the future.
But you talked then about changing the way India played abroad, at these other countries. That's also quite prevalent for us. We have lots of the team that travel around, go to clients elsewhere. But for you, how did you do that in cricket? How did you change the way the Indian cricket team played abroad?
I think it's about mindset, it's about belief. It's about having faith in your talent and ultimately confidence. You need that trigger in life. It's in business. When you're into SAP, you're into AI, you keep doing new things, and it's the trigger which you need with a particular client, which actually transforms the business of that client, and you keep repeating that with different models for different other businesses. And in cricket, it was the same for me. It was about changing the mindset. It was about the way you looked at traveling abroad. It was about embracing the challenge which you get away from India, in England, in Australia, and training your mind accordingly. I believe with human beings, nothing is impossible. I know we deal a lot with machines now, with artificial intelligence. You can hear me for hours in spite of me not being in that particular place. So that world is also happening, which is a bit risky at times, but especially for a public person like me and the social media world, you got to be very careful. But that was something which I wanted to do. It's about making young players believe that you were as good as anybody in the world. When you played a Jimmy Anderson, when you played a Glenn McGrath, when you played a Wasim Akram, whether it's in Pakistan, whether it's in Australia, whether it's in England, it's when you walked out on the park with that cricket bat. It was a young individual with a lot of faith, a lot of ability, and a lot of belief that he will be successful. And I think in sport, in life, it's the belief which is important. Yes, you work hard. Yes, you train. Yes, you try and get better. But if you don't have that inner fire within you saying that, I will make a difference, it doesn't change. And all of us work in a team game with Innoverve. You have so many people working in England, led by you and Partha. There are lots of staff and trainees and employees in India who are making a difference. So many of you travel around the world. It's a team. It's a team which make a difference. But amidst the team, you need individual talent. Like as you were trying to tell Partha, that keep shifting. It keeps shifting because we need to keep explaining. And you need those sort of people in cricket teams as well. In spite of it being a team sport, it's an individual sport as well. A game was won or lost with a Tendulkar getting 100, with a Kumble getting 5 wickets, or a Jimmy Anderson picking a 7 for on the 5th day of the test, getting England to win. So it's about the individual brilliance as well. So for me, transformation meant a lot of things. For me, transformation meant bringing in talent. For me, transformation meant man management. For me, transformation meant belief. For me, transformation meant, to see the future. To me, transformation meant, being a visionary, looking after young players, giving them the faith, and at the same time demanding performances for them. And when you keep talking about every aspect of it, it's a huge system where about man management, about belief, about vision, about young players becoming better skillfully. And when you transform and when you become a good, successful unit, it's about all of them falling in a system before you deliver. World Cups are not just won by one player. World Cups are won by all 15 of them performing at their best every game for a long period of time. And I think it's the same in business. You become successful because you keep doing the right things with the right people.